Hello viewers, welcome to yet another exciting episode. Today I want us to discuss about types of lighting circuits and their connection. And we will start with the one-way switch controlling just one lamp. When you want to connect a one-way switch to control one lamp, your phase conductor should move from the distribution board or run from the distribution board all the way to the common part of the switch. Then the other part of the switch should have a conductor running from that part of the switch all the way to the lamp. Then your neutral conductor should run from the distribution board to the lamp. That's how you connect a one-way switch. If you want that one-way switch to control multiple lamps, the procedure is the same, only that after connecting the way I have explained, you loop the neutral of the first lamp to the neutral of the second lamp, then to the neutral of the third lamp, and to the neutral of the last, all the way to the last lamp. Then for life you do the same, loop the life of the first lamp to the life of the second lamp to the life of all the way to the last lamp. That's how we connect a one-way switch. We have another switch that we call a multiple gang switch, which has been designed to allow the consumer to use many lamps independently, but at a common switching point. And this is how we connect this switch. The left phase conductor is going to run from the distribution board to the common part of the first switch. Remember, a multiple gang switch is just many switches in one casing. That's what a multiple gang switch is. So the left conductor or the phase conductor is going to run from the distribution board to the face of the first switch, or to the common part of the first switch. Then the common part of other switches are going to be looped from that common part of the first switch. Then the second part of the switches, remember we have only connected the common parts only. So a switch has two terminals, common part and the other part. So those other parts of the switches will act as the live conductor of the lamps. So if it is a 3-gang switch, we will connect the second part of the first switch to the first lamp, the second part of the second switch to the second lamp, and the second part of the third switch to the third lamp. Then we know that neutral doesn't pass through the switch, so it will run from the distribution board to the lamps, to the first lamp, then you loop to the second lamp, then you loop to the third lamp. That's how a multiple gang switch is connected. There is this connection where we only have one circuit from the distribution board connecting lighting circuit, but this lighting circuit is controlling different lamps, and this is how we connect. We either use a ceiling rows or a joint box. Watch my video on the lighting circuit part 1 to understand the connection of ceiling rows and joint box. The key point in a connection of one-way switch, whether you are connecting it to operate many lamps or to operate lamps independently, is that the supply must run, or the phase conductor must run from the distribution board to the common point of the switch, and the other point of the switch, or the other terminal of the switch, should be connected to the lamp. Neutral doesn't pass through any switch, so it runs all the way to the loads. That's how we connect a one-way switch, whether it is controlling one lamp, whether it is controlling many lamps, whether it is a many gang switch. Remember, you can have many gang switch, but one-way switches. So the other part of the switch will always be connected to the lamp, or whether you are connecting different switches in different rooms. That's how we connect one-way switches. Let us look at a two-way switching method. And a two-way switching method is where a single lamp or a variety of lamps or different lamps are controlled in two positions, and use a switch that we call two-way switches. Just like we have said that we have a 1-gang one-way switch, 3-gang 2-gang one-way switch, 3 gang one-way switch, 4 gang one-way switch. We also have a 1 gang two-way switch, 3 gang two-way switch, all the way to as many gangs as possible. So a two-way switch has 3 terminals. One terminal is the common terminal, and as you have said in the previous discussion, a common terminal will always get light from the supply. Then the other 2 terminals, we call them L1 and L2. If you are to connect a circuit to operate in two-way switching positions, you must have two-way switches, or you must have 2 switches, two-way switches. So the common of the first switch is where we connect the live from the supply or from the distribution board, and the common of the second switch acts as the live of the lamp. Then L1 is connected to L1 and L2 is connected to L2. Then we know that neutral doesn't pass through switch, so it moves all the way to the lamp. That's how we do a two-way switching connection. If we are connecting many lamps to operate in two-way switching method, then the connection will be just as I have explained. But as I said, in one-way switch, you'll have to connect those lamps in parallel, such that the neutrals are joined together and the lights are also joined together. That's how we connect a two-way switching method or two-way switching system to operate many lamps. There is also another connection of two-way switches where you find one lamp has been connected in a one-way switching method and the other lamp has been connected in two-way switching method. If you are living in a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom residential house, then you will find that sometimes you need to light the lamp at the sitting room when you are at your bedroom. So that is one of application of the scenario that I am talking about, where we have as a lamp operating in two-way switching method and another lamp operating in one-way switching method, and they are using maybe a single gun. So one switch will be a 2 gun and another switch will be 1 gun. So this is what we do. You just ignore the L1 or L2 of the first gun and connect it as one way. How do you connect it that way? The live wire is going to originate from the distribution board to the common part of the 2-gang two-way switch. When it reaches there, you just loop it to the common part of the second gang, just as we see it in multiple gang one-way switch. Just loop with the common to the common. Then we know that these are two-way switches, so they have L1 and L2. So we have in 2 gang, we have L1, L2 for the first gang and L1 and L2 for the second gang. So the system which needs a one-way switching system, you are just going to ignore either L1 or L2 of that gang and connect either L1 or L2. This is what I mean, that the live conductor to the system that requires only one-way switching system is going to originate either from L1 of the first gang or L2 of the second gang. The other gang will be left blank. It will not be connected to anything. Then it will move to the lamp. Neutral doesn't pass through the switch, so it should not worry you. It should always run from the distribution board to the lamp. Then so on the other switch that we want to use for two-way switching system, remember you have already looped the supply from the first gang to the second gang. So L1 and L2, we are going to connect two conductors there and run them all the way to the second switch, the one that I told you that it will be a 1 gang switch, the one at the bedroom, if you are connecting it for the bedroom. So you will take them to the that gang switch. Then L1, you are going to connect it to L1 of that 1 gang switch, and L2 you are going to connect it to L2 of that 1 gang switch. Then the common of that switch is the one that you are going to connect to the face, or to the live terminal of the lamp in that city. Then your neutral is just going to come from the distribution board or any nearest neutral point of the lamps in your house. You can just connect it to that system, and you will have connected your lamp or your system to operate as one-way switch for one lamp, and a two-way switch or two-way system for the other lamp. We can now move to the multiple way switching system, and we'll start with three-way switching system. In a three-way switching system, we only had an intermediate switch at the center of two-way switches. An intermediate switch doesn't have a common. It only has L1 and L2 and L1 and L2. It has two L1s and two L2s. In intermediate switch, when you operate the switch, those terminals will look like equal sign. They will be parallel. When you operate it the second time, they cross. So the first phase of the switches is L1, they are L1s, and the second part is L2. And what we do is if you want to operate a circuit to operate in a three-way switching system, the L1 is going to be connected to L1 of the first switch, and L2 is going to be connected also to L1. Then that is of the intermediate switch. L1 of the two-way switch is going to be connected to L1 of the intermediate switch, and L2 is also going to be connected to L1 of the intermediate switch. On the other hand, L2 of the intermediate switch is going to be connected to L1 of the other two-way switch, and L2 of the intermediate switch is going to be connected to the other L2 of the two-way switch. Then the second common will act as the life of the lamp. Neutral doesn't pass through the lamp, so it is going to be connected with the distribution board all the way to the lamp. And as I have explained earlier, in the two-way switching system and in the one-way switching system, if that system is operating many lamps, you just need to connect them in similar way that I have explained in the other ways. If you want your system to operate in four-way, you'll only add an intermediate switch. You'll have two intermediate switches and two-way switches. In five-way, three intermediate switches, two two-way switches, and the connection will just be the same. Intermediate switches that are sandwiched between the two-way switches. The L2s are going to be connected to L1s or L2s, and L2s of that just connect them in parallel as illustrated in the diagrams that I'm showing in the video. Just connect them that way. If you want to connect them the way that I have explained, the bedroom way, the bedroom and the sitting way, you just connect them. There will be no arm. If you have a two-gang switch, remember, an intermediate switch cannot exist as a two-gang switch. It cannot exist as a one-gang switch. I have not come across any application of a two-gang intermediate switch. So you can only have a two-gang or three-gang or multiple-gang intermediate switch, which is just a two-way or a one-way. So if it is a two-way or a one-way, you can a two-way switch can be used as a one-way switch, and I've explained how when I was explaining the scenario of sitting and bedroom. So if you just need the scenario of sitting and bedroom, you can always achieve it even when you are controlling multiple way switches. That one will not have any problem. So those are the methods of connection of the switches. If you need any clarity, you can comment in the comment section, and I will read the comment and explain further.